I'm Mackenzie Kruger, and alongside me today is the Arrows co-captain, Ben LeSage. So Ben, I know you're an avid reader and created Ben's Bookshelf on Instagram. Maybe we can start with you telling me a little bit about that account and why you created it.
Yeah, just I think everyone found a hobby to keep them busy, especially during COVID. Whether it was baking, I think some people got into music, whatever it was. For me, it was reading. So a lot of downtime, especially during some of the quarantine that had to do initially just coming back in the March period there. So just got into books. It's always been a passion of mine.
So now we're going to get into some more rugby-related questions. In the game against the Free Jacks last week, the Arrows gave up some unfortunate penalties. So how do we prevent the same thing from happening against San Diego?
Yeah, I think it's something that we look at sort of as a group in the film afterwards and see where they led from. We do want to sort of play aggressively and sometimes toe the line there, but after a game like that, you probably want to take a step back. So first of all, understand who the ref is on the weekend, what they like to call and what they're looking for. And I think you probably see just a little bit more discipline, maybe an extra half step at the breakdown to stay offside. In the breakdown, probably a little bit better decision making about when to go for a ball or when to get involved in those sorts of things. So I think we want to keep an aggressive mentality, stay on the front foot. So not going to radically change our playing style, but just sort of look to clean up some of that little stuff to stay a little bit cleaner and stay off the board.
Great. Now that you've had the first half of the season to kind of adjust, could you tell me a little bit about how your role within the team has changed since becoming co-captain?
Yeah, I've kind of said it a few times in the sense that it hasn't changed a whole lot. Last year I still felt like I was a part of the leadership group and could speak up and sort of when I thought needed, and this year's no different. We've got a lot of sort of leaders who have a lot of rugby pedigree and extensive rugby resumes. So a lot of voices in the locker room that can sort of speak up and contribute at different times. So it's been more about as much sort of off the field. I've talked about sort of part of a captain advocating on behalf of players, making sure that sort of feedback from the player group is passed on to the coaches and sort of there's an alignment there throughout the season. So hasn't been anything radical and have really just focused on sort of leading from the front with performance on the field and trying to be an example there, I guess.
That's great. It definitely seems like the guys are playing as a unit, and I like to see that. Now, this one's a little sillier, but I heard a rumor you're addicted to TikTok. So can you tell me if you did any of the dance challenges on there or just challenges in general?
Well, I have a very limited library of TikToks that I made. It actually all started last year. In rugby, very common to have sort of fines if you're late to a meeting, you forget the right shirt, whatever it is. And so there's a couple sheriffs on the team that'll dole out fines. And last year, one of my fines, I forget what it was that I did, probably a few minutes late for a meeting or something. And I had to make 3 TikToks for the group. So that was my first foray into the app. And I guess ever since, especially with some of the downtime, there's a few boys, Will Kelly, Quatrin, Jamie Mackenzie is big into it as well. So I guess it's a bit of a time sink, but good way to stay relevant, stay young with some of the younger guys coming up through the team as well.
That wraps it up, Ben. So thanks so much for chatting with me and good luck with the game.
Thanks, Mackenzie. I appreciate the chat.